On this episode of Searching for History, we're on San Juan Island and we're at English Camp. In 1859, during the Pig War, when Great Britain and the United States agreed to jointly occupy San Juan Island, they decided their camps should be on opposite ends of the island. The British selected the site of English Camp on Garrison Bay, 15 miles northwest of American Camp. In this episode, we will take a look where the officers' quarters were located, walk through a beautiful English garden, examine the outside of a blockhouse, and walk around English Camp's parade ground. So come along, let's visit English Camp. Do you want to go to the parade ground or the officers' quarters overlook first?
Let's do the officers' quarters overlook first, because it's right here.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be a good view. Wow, that water's really still. There's like no waves.
Look at that pretty English garden down there.
I'm glad you chose to come up here. No British flag. So we're standing up here on this height overlooking English Camp, and this informational panel here is saying that this flat area up here on the side of the hill is where the officers' homes were located, and they were able to, from their homes, overlook the bay and the camp itself.
This panel talks about how the final commander, Captain William Delacombe, ordered the garden below, the enlisted men's vegetable garden then, be moved and a new formal flower garden be planted in its place. This garden is arranged in a garden-esque style, which was popular in Victorian England, and Mrs. Delacombe's garden apparently became the dividing line of sophistication between the officers and their families and the enlisted ranks, which were quartered down below at the parade grounds.
It's cool how you can see where they would bring in ships to this pier. Now we're looking up at the hill where the officers' quarters were located. And so this English garden here is kind of the separation point between the officers up on the hill and the enlisted down here on the parade field. Yeah, so they had the married officers' quarters on the left. More to the right there was the bachelor's officers' quarters, the officers' mess hall, and the surgeon's quarters, with the commanding officer's house on the very top.
I think English camp is more beautiful than the American camp. I think they picked a better spot. Maybe just because there's sort of more like context here. I can envision how it used to be better. It was kind of hard to see that at the American camp. Behind me here is the parade grounds, and the enlisted men were quartered here.
The sun really hasn't gotten down in here yet. So behind me here is English Camp's blockhouse. This little information panel is saying that it was based off of the American camp's blockhouse, and the second floor has been turned 45 degrees in order to give the blockhouse the ability to fire in all directions around it. It says here the upper story turned 45 degrees on its base, protected soldiers from all angles as they aimed their rifles out the loopholes. And then it's saying that it also acted as a guardhouse with the first floor as a guard room, and then Marines that were in trouble for misconduct were also held here as a jail. Yeah, so the second story was also a prison for the Marines when they got out of hand.
It's really beautiful out here this morning.
So this interpretive panel here actually gives you a really good feel of how English Camp looked. There's a lot of buildings here. I just want to point out a few. So there's a hospital here, showing the enlisted man barracks. Then you had a library and a school, a carpenter shop. And then all of the officers' buildings, all the officers' houses up on the hill, the formal garden and the blockhouse. And then all you see right here was the parade field. The Royal Marines landed here March 21st, 1860, and established English Camp. By the time they left 12 years later, the Marines had 27 structures, 2 wharfs, 2 wells, a pasture, a formal garden, several roads, and much fencing. Well, that's our video on English Camp. I hope you enjoyed it.
Don't forget to like, share, comment on this video, and please subscribe to Searching for History.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, somehow, while everything else was logged, this old growth Doug fir survived. The question is it still alive? I think it's still alive. Yeah. Yeah, I can see some live branches on it up there.